You?
I don't know. Dude, it's so big.
You
big?
bunch of
The
turds.
base is huge in this thing.
I swear to God.
Welcome, everyone.
Hi.
Weekly Dosage, episode 39. Coming at you with another All the Good Culture. This time, we're going to talk about the year that was. Down below him over there, 1993. And this is actually a really exciting year to talk about. Why, you ask? Thanks for asking, viewers. So the chat is not asking me the question.
Don't say, why do you ask? Why you ask? Thanks for asking.
Yeah. This quite possibly is one of the most influential, or yeah, I guess we'll go with that, or even defining years for what would become this. Well, not this. That took a couple more years.
Rob, do you see your camera? Mm-hmm. Okay. You were just like...
But ultimately, the lawnmower and the fan. You're hearing Sounds of Nature, brought to you by DNA. Volume 2.
Paint some happy trees.
All the happy trees. So this episode is brought to you by Lawn Care. Eric's Lawn Care Service, coming at you every Friday between 4 and 7 p.m.
I will trim your bush.
Oh, God! This is done.
Wait, do we have chat somewhere? Is this nobody chatting?
Yeah, nobody's chatting.
Hey, how about you go inside with air conditioning? And watch
I feel
this.
like I should just stab you in the leg with a fork for that.
You should. So let's get on with the show, because we have a lot to talk about tonight and not much time. We're going to talk about the year that was 1993. Do you remember 1993? How old were you in 1993?
I was 7.
7. Rob was 32, I think. I was 8.
Oh, cool, the chat's
So-
broke.
Is
Oh,
it?
cool. Is there somebody chatting? We just can't see it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, broken things.
Hi, chatter.
Every time. So let's recap some major events in the year that was 1993.
Okay.
Do you want a moment to
P.S. I didn't look at our outline, so I'm going to be surprised, too.
Me too.
Nailed it.
Nail edit.
Nail edit.
So, in January, IBM announced a $4.97 billion loss for the year 1992, the largest single-year corporate loss in the United States history to date. We also saw on the left there,
What the fuck is that thing in the blue sweater?
Bill Clinton was sworn in as the 42nd President of the United States. February 26th saw the World Trade Center bombing. In New York City, a van parked below the North Tower of the World Trade Center exploded, killing 6 and injuring over 1,000.
Wow, that building got fucked up.
Yeah, that building is no more, unfortunately.
What?
Neither is the guy who did it.
Spoiler alert. On March 11th, Janet Reno was confirmed by the United States
That's
Senate
Janet Reno.
and sworn in the next day, becoming the first female Attorney General of the United States.
Wasn't Janet Reno one of Will Ferrell's characters on SNL?
I think so.
Wait, what? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, fun repeat of history, or I guess repeat of history now. North Korea nuclear weapons program. North Korea announced that it plans to withdraw from the nuclear non-proliferation treaty. Big words, Jesus. And refused to allow inspectors to access nuclear sites. July 27th saw Windows NT 3.1, the first version of Microsoft line of the Windows NT operating system, and it's released to manufacturing. November 11th, Microsoft releases Windows for Workgroups 3.11 in manufacturing.
When did that release?
November 11th.
Oh, okay. Because 3/11 would be March 11th.
Oh, that would be very fitting.
That's why I wasn't paying attention.
On November 17th through 22nd, the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, passes the legislative houses in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Also, Michael Jackson is accused by Evan Chandler of sexually molesting Jordan Chandler, Evan's 13-year-old son. 93, Michael Jackson was accused of this, and it was settled...
Nuclear.
Nuclear. It was settled out of court in June of 2009. Oh, and in June of 2009, pardon me. Jackson died of benzodiazepine overdose. Benzos. 4 months later, Chandler committed suicide.
What? How did Joey take it?
Right?
Sensitivity at its
dying.
best.
I killed
Yikes.
Andrea.
They killed her too. So those are some notable events that defined the year that was in America, 1993. Let's talk
What
about
year
some
was it
people
elsewhere?
who were born, because their parents be doing it that year,
Maybe no, the year before.
depending on the
Yeah,
month.
that's true.
So, Chance the Rapper,
So, there we. Oh, okay, I didn't realize we were switching to this.
Ariana Grande,
Ariana Venti Latte, Grande Latte.
one of my favorites from this year, Megan Trainor,
One of my favorites from this year.
Noam Dar,
One of my favorites from this year.
Sarah Logan,
Another one of my favorites from this year.
Sonia Deville, and Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne.
Dunne.
Peaton?
Pete Dunne. Some notable deaths. Andre the Giant,
Sad Panda.
Brandon Lee, who if you
Oh.
don't know who that is, The Crow,
Super sad panda if you don't know who that is.
River Phoenix, and Frank Zappa.
Oh, River Phoenix is over here. Do you know where River Phoenix died? Or how he died?
The Viper.
In the river?
Viper Room.
In the Viper Room.
Isn't it called the Viper Room?
On the front stoop.
Yeah, overdosed. I watched the Ghost Adventures on that one. It was the good one.
A Ghost Adventures?
Love
Yeah,
that
you
show,
can
dude.
take a tour. And
I think it's haunted by him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think so.
I don't believe in ghosts, so there's that.
I'm skeptical, but open to stuff. Hey!
We're back. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
This is our pretty face.
Yeah, it was only for 4, but they were pretty major.
What?
A lot of big deaths. Yeah, those were...
Oh.
Obviously, there were more people that died that year. Those are notable. A lot of this stuff, again, edited, notable. Let's talk wrestling.
Let's do that.
Talk about it
So,
slowly.
we have... Talk about it slowly. We have a show that we do here. Eric and I started this one up called the 3 Second Tan. And we talk wrestling there. But wrestling also was happening in the year 1993. And we're not going to probably talk about specific events rather than what's currently happening on the 3 Second Tan.
Yup.
So, we're going to talk about some notable things that were happening in wrestling. One of them being the Royal Rumble that year.
Ah, crap.
Oh crap, he says.
Did we throw you off?
No,
Do you not have a gif of it?
no.
Jiffy. He'll have it in a jiffy.
We should go to the store and get some Giffy Pop.
I want some Jiffy Pop.
Have you ever had Jiffy Pop?
Hmm?
It's so good. It's like really good
I like popcorn.
popcorn.
Boop, boop, boop.
I dropped my phone.
I like kettle corn the best.
Kettle corn's okay for me.
What's your favorite popcorn? Anyway,
So-
speaking of popcorn,
Yeah, Imagine has cheddar corn and caramel corn.
That's
You know that?
true.
That sounds good.
They're super
Yeah.
tasty.
Have you had either of them?
I stole a bite of somebody's at some point.
I want to get the caramel corn, but I just don't feel like I could eat a whole bag of it. I kind of want to get all three of them mixed. Have you ever had the cheddar popcorn with the caramel corn at the same time?
yeah.
It's great.
What's the Chicago stuff we get?
Chicago mix. Garrett's.
Garrett's.
Carrot?
Not
Carrots?
Garrett's. Garrett's. So,
Just-
somebody who may or may not like popcorn, Yokozuna. What's up with that?
You know who's really good at segues?
Not this guy.
Yokozuna.
So, Yokozuna, he won the Royal Rumble that year, earning a shot at the title at WrestleMania, which we'll talk about. What's chat say?
True white cheddar and Parmesan garlic together. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the little sprinkle stuff you put on.
Sprinkles.
So good.
Sprinkle Sprackle?
Hey Sarah, where's my popcorn tin for my birthday?
Oh, yeah, I used to get the popcorn tins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those.
By the way, my birthday is next month. I'm pretty excited.
Because you're going to be old,
Yep.
like
Those
Rob.
old ones.
Like Rob. Yep.
Now you're just ancient, Rob. You were old, now you're ancient. So, notable incidents. January 11th of 93, Episode 1, not of Star Wars, but of Monday Night Raw.
Mmm.
It premiered on the USA Network, and it was from the Manhattan Center in New York City. So if you've watched any of their anniversary shows, they tend to try to go back here. Speaking of the 25th one this year, they had it split, and one of the venues was actually here.
That was an awful Raw.
I was going to say, which was one of the more disappointing Raws.
Yeah.
But the first one was really good, which you can go back and find on the WWE Network.
Yeah, but Frankenmuth is so far, Henry.
Frankenmuth is far.
I don't know. Sarah, you have to... I think you might be able to get it on Amazon. Let me look.
So February 10th saw Bill Watts resigning as Executive Vice President of Operations for WCW. February 12th saw Eric Bischoff becoming Executive Producer of all World Championship Wrestling Television, and Ole Anderson was announced as the new Vice President of Wrestling Operations for WCW. So right there was kind of getting the foundation set for what would come in the years to come. So stay tuned for future episodes of All the Good Culture, because wrestling is going to heat up there. February 21st, Ric Flair makes his WCW return, and Davey Boy Smith makes his WCW debut at Super Brawl 3 in Nashville, North Carolina. February 22nd saw Hulk Hogan making his WWF return live on Monday Night Raw. February 25th, Jim Ross resigned from WCW.
Sarah,
April 4th.
Sarah, you can get them, by the way.
Popcorn. April
By the way,
4th, Jim
this
Ross.
one right here, if you're looking for one. See, this one's $50, and I'll have that one, please.
Jim Ross makes his WWF TV debut at WrestleMania 9, which, if you remember WrestleMania 9, this was the Caesar's Palace one. So they had
One of
the
the worst.
thematically it was interesting, but yes, considered one of the worst WrestleManias. April 5th, ECW Hardcore TV debuts on Sports Channel Philadelphia, which, again, we're starting to see the change in what 80s wrestling was into the more Attitude Era brewing. It's not quite the Attitude Era yet, that's for a couple more years, but we're seeing the formative years of what is to become a little more edgy content from all wrestling shows. So they're more in-your-face wrestling. July 7th, WCW Worldwide begins taping at Disney MGM Studios from Orlando, Florida. The taping schedule ran from 7th through 10th. Taping matches and footage for airing starting the week of August 28th through 29th, which included Ric Flair, Rick Rude wearing the NWA World title, Ricky Steamboat and Lord Steven Regal wearing the WCW TV title, and an interview with Paul Roma and Arn Anderson wearing the NWA and WCW World Tag Team titles, and the Nasty Boys managed by Missy Hyatt.
NAW title.
Carrying the NWA World Tag Team titles in the
The
ring.
NAW World title?
NWA.
NAW.
NAW.
Plugs.
September 1, which if you know anything about NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, which if you were a fan of TNA in the early years, they had that belt in it. But WCW ultimately left the NWA. September 3rd, the NWA convention was held in Las Vegas. Also that same day, the ECW joined the NWA, becoming the NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling. So it's not Extreme yet. It's about to become, but it's not yet. October 6th, Mean Gene Okerlund made his WCW debut at a WCW Saturday Night taping in Atlanta. November 21st, the first time ever a non-WWF title changed at hands of a WWF pay-per-view when the Heavenly Bodies defeating the SMW Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express, in a title match at the Survivor Series. So they were starting to expand and include other territories and other organizations. December 4th, Bobby Heenan was given an on-air farewell on WWF Monday Night Raw when Gorilla Monsoon picked him up and threw him and his belongings out of the arena and onto the street. So recently, we talked about the passing, I think we just talked about that more so in chat and on one of the NAW shows. Big Van Vader. He was actually cited as PWI's Wrestler of the Year in '93. The Tag Team of the Year, yes, so rest in peace, Vader. Definitely earned a lot of accolades, he did.
It's time.
Tag Team of the Year, Steiner Brothers. So Rick and Scott. Probably juicing at this time, but his body...
Just starting.
Yeah. That dude. Freaks in the peaks, man. Match of the year went to Shawn Michaels versus Marty Jannetty on Raw, July 19th, which is shocking because Marty Jannetty, after this, didn't really have much of a successful run. Unfortunately, I understand backstage problems and probably drinking and drugs.
Well, him and Michaels both, really.
Yeah. Obviously, Michaels went on to have a successful career.
Michaels
Feud of the year went to Bret Hart and Jerry Lawler. Most popular wrestler of the year went to Lex Luger.
Lex Luthor! Wait.
The most hated wrestler of the year, Jerry Lawler, which he was probably the ultimate heel, and he was great at getting heel heat.
Huh?
Comeback of the year Lex Luger. Most Improved Wrestler of the Year, Yokozuna. Most Inspirational Wrestler of the Year, Cactus Jack. Rookie of the Year, Vampire Warrior.
Oh, Jesus. Who turned out to be Gangrel?
Gangrel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could not find a single picture of him as Vampire Warrior.
I think it was
either just
short-lived.
him or
Yeah.
Gangrel, and that was it.
Lifetime Achievement, obviously Andre the Giant. Rest in peace that year. Editor's Award, Jim Cornette.
I don't know, where's Cornette? I had a picture for that.
Slacking, baby doll.
No, I have this picture. It's not on
Sure
for
you
some
do.
reason.
Sure you
I
do.
will cut you in the mouth.
Mm-mm.
Alright, whatever, it's gone.
Somebody's pissed.
Oh, no, there it is.
Okay. I see it.
So,
Oh, it won't add it. That's why it's not on here.
yeah, that's fine. We can move on. Talk some history of just the WCW World title that year. The incoming champion was Van Vader, Big Van Vader. He
Giant
lost
Van
it at a house show to Sting.
They wrestled in houses?
They did, in your house,
Oh, that's
which
crazy.
is,
There's Jimmy C.
there you go, Jimmy Cornette. Sting held on to the belt, dropping it back to Big Van Vader.
Oh!
And then Vader lost it to Ric Flair at Starrcade. The WWF World Heavyweight Championship, the incoming champion was Bret Hart,
I don't have that one.
who ultimately lost it at WrestleMania to Yokozuna to not only have then Hulk Hogan show up at the same event right after that match and then take it. So Yokozuna had it for like a minute.
Did you just steal it from him?
They had a match, an impromptu match.
Oh.
He just showed up and
And then they
And
played
he-
it off like, is it okay, brother?
yeah.
Hulk came out to check on, you guys can't see me, but I air quoted that. Hulk came out to check on Bret Hart,
Mhm.
and then Yokozuna's mouthpiece was like, get in here and fight, Hulk Hogan.
This is also the infamous
Give me
event where
it.
Hulk Hogan had a nice
his
shiner.
Big ol' black eye.
Was his mouthpiece Skeletor?
So the rumor with the black eye is that
Get
he
in here
got
and
hit by
fight
Macho
me.
Man because of Miss Elizabeth. There was
At a
some,
bar.
some things going on there. So
That is the rumor. They were at a bar, and Hogan and Savage
Where's
started
the bar
popping
been?
off about it.
I don't know, not on TV.
Yeah.
I just realized I didn't see them live.
Hogan then dropped it to Yokozuna at King of the Ring.
Oh, hang on. I got a good one for that.
Drop it like it's hot.
Two-piece,
There you go.
because they cheated.
Cheetahs, ultimate heels.
Some dick with a fake camera caught Hulk Hogan on fire.
So some of these next ones are notable debuts, and they come with asterisks now because the dates are somewhat unknown for exact dates. It's sometime around here, and some of these debuts aren't, maybe they're in-ring debuts, but character debuts under that name or alias. One of them being Hardcore Holly. So, Sparky Plug. We had Joey Styles, who dressed up as Bob Holly.
No, you just officially caught up to what I had prepped.
Oh, okay. Nelson Frazier Jr., Big Daddy V, Viscera, Mabel, many other names. Doug Basham, one half of the Basham brothers.
This dude debuted as The Machine.
The Machine, Machina. Tammy Sitch, which you may all remember her as Sunny,
Bret Hart's
supposedly.
supposed side woman. Although everyone denied it, so, you know, who knows.
One half of Team Extreme, Jeff Hardy. This is a classic picture. Here you go.
I specifically chose that one because it's got him with the short hair. You
Now, I
can
believe this
barely
is a
recognize
photo
the
from
dude.
'94, Raw.
It is. It's from
But
'94. But
That's
he
why I said
looked roughly the
asterisk.
same.
Yeah, asterisk because he was more than likely doing dark shows in '93 as Jeff Hardy, which is his real name. So.
What?
So that covers wrestling in 1993. Let's talk video games.
Let's do it.
So some notable releases here in February by Sega. We have Daytona
500.
USA. You guys remember this in the arcade, right?
I remember.
Sega
bunch of
Saturn
races
had a
they-
port of
they
it.
taken.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't remember the arcade cabinet. Oh, God damn it.
What was the song? What were the lyrics? You guys remember?
Nope.
Daytona, 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 USA. Right?
Not even slightly close, but we'll go with it. Becomes one of the world's most impactful racing games of all time, and it's
Do you
quoted
hold on?
as,
Do you remember
"It
the
won't go
lyrics?
away." I mean, it's
Daytona, 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 USA.
it's
If not, they should take that.
I feel like it's a little late for that, but
yeah.
No,
You guys aren't buying any time,
we're
so
gonna
I can't
we're gonna
buy
time
anything,
travel
so.
That's
over
fine.
to 1939 and then do
We
it.
had a lot of
Change it
content,
up.
so just make it work. I played this a lot. I had this on the Sega Saturn when I had my Saturn, and
Did
it's
you take a lot of left turns?
there were right turns as well. So it's the classic arcade where you have the stupid countdown clock, and if you don't keep getting checkpoints and laps when it counts down,
yeah.
the race is over.
Even in the regular game.
Even on the home release.
You know what? You know what racing game I really liked?
Crazy Taxi.
Yes, but also Cruis'n USA and Cruis'n World.
Cruising, those were good.
Especially in the arcade.
Yeah.
Dude, I dumped so much money into Cruis'n when they had it at Pinball Beats.
When I got it on Nintendo 64,
Oh my God.
that's all me and my dad
That's
and my
right, it
brother
was on
played.
a 64.
Yeah, that's all we played.
The arcade one was unquestionably better, but
Yeah, but
hardware at the time, what did you expect, right?
yeah.
So we also saw in April that year by Midway Mortal Kombat 2. It proved to be an enormous commercial success and even a cultural, obviously, phenomenon here. Owner of Midway at the time reported its 93 sales in the quarter ending December 31 rose to $101 million from $86 million, and said much of its revenue gain was related to the sale of the arcade version of MK2. So millions of dollars in the arcade.
How about Road Rash? Henry says.
Road Rash is another great one.
A solid one.
That was ported though to the Genesis.
Andrea also says were the lyrics "I fuck my sister," and yes,
Wow.
that's actually the hook before it goes Daytona, 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 USA.
July
I
saw
can't stop that now.
Samurai Showdown. It was the 93 Game of the Year, voted on by EGM, which Electronic Gaming Monthly. So, fighting game.
What game was it?
Samurai Showdown. I've never played it, but I'm sure anyone who is a fanatic of fighting games, this is probably an important one in history for that genre.
Yeah, it was pretty groundbreaking. I was never a huge fan of it personally, but it set a lot of standards.
October saw, by Namco, Ridge Racer, which... Ridge Racer! You guys remember
No,
this
that's
one.
that's not Ryu, or that wasn't Ryu.
No, that was not Ryu.
Looked like him. So Ridge Racer was another one. We saw a lot of racing games. That was a really big thing in
There's
these
a lot of-
cabinets.
This year was a lot of arcade-heavy info, though.
Well, it was a revitalization of cabinets because cabinets were dying in the early 90s. Late 80s, early 90s, we saw less people going to arcades because of the home console movement.
I am all out.
Because you could get arcade-style gameplay right at your home. Why would you go spend quarters when you can spend it on a game you can play over and over?
Oh, you don't want
So,
No, this has something else in it.
That has someone else in it?
Has had something else in it.
another game that I had on the Sega Saturn was Virtua Fighter.
Ooh, I love Virtua Fighter.
I wanted to.
It was fun. I had fun with it. It was unique at the time,
At
for
the
sure.
time, it was great.
It's often cited as being the
Wasn't
first
it-
fully 3D
That's what I was
fighting
gonna say,
game
the first 3D fighting.
released to general public, and it
Which
is
is
basis
exactly why
for.
I wanted to like it so bad.
Right, it played fine. Like it wasn't a bad
No,
game.
I'm not.
Yes,
here's
how
the
is
thing.
Dickies?
I'm not even trying to shit on Virtua Fighter. I just I wanted to like it and couldn't. I don't know why. I just couldn't.
I mean, to each their own. This is one of the ones I played. Again, I had it, and it came with my system, so I played it. We also saw NBA Jam, being one of the first sports games with official licensed teams and players. Obvious cult classic. It was also the highest earning arcade game of all time.
Really?
Which, clearly, who has never played NBA Jam here?
It's probably gross by now. Ugh. Warm milk.
Chunky. I mean, have you played NBA Jam?
I've played the shit out of it.
Right.
But I didn't
Oh,
play
yeah,
it in arcade.
Chat, have you played NBA Jam, or viewers watching this back at a later time? Comment below. If you haven't,
Well, they can't really comment on Twitch below.
we have all these YouTube.
Maybe.
Maybe.
There's no maybe here.
Maybe.
Every dosage goes to youtube.com/dosenerdacumen, and you should too. Follow us and subscribe.
Andrew
So, yeah.
played NBA Jam.
So yeah, I mean, NBA Jam was awesome. Obviously, most people probably played Tournament Edition. That was another successful one.
Yeah.
That came out later.
I almost broke my Super Nintendo playing it so much.
This is going to be not this year, but did NFL Blitz come out in arcade first?
I
Arcade was first.
think that was a couple years from now. I want to say
Right, no, it's not
But it
this
was
year.
arcade before it was
Yeah,
home
yeah,
console.
That's what
it was
was
arcade. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely arcade game.
That game was the shit, by the way.
February, going back, we saw LucasArts on PC release X-Wing. So, PC gamers, you probably remember this one. This is another important title.
I was not a PC gamer yet.
I think the first PC game I
wasn't
ever played was...
Wolfenstein, Doom,
No, it was later. It was a Star Wars game, but it was like...
Carmen Sandiego,
It's
Oregon Trail.
Star Wars Carmen Sandiego.
I loved that one. R2D2 like uses his.
To help you find Waldo. To help you find Waldo.
It was,
Oh,
I think it
he
was
found Waldo.
Jedi Outcast 2, Jedi Academy or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't.
Super
I'm
good.
still not a PC gamer. Hate mail, I know. Send it away.
I don't give a shit.
Well, there are people that care about that stuff. I never
If you
understood.
do, dumb.
it. Wow.
PC Master Race forever.
Yeah,
No,
see?
see, we keep telling Rob it's okay to be wrong. February
Keep
saw.
proving it.
I hear someone talking again. It's weird. It's weird ringing. February saw Star Fox, which is the first game to ever use the new Super Effects chip. Get more megabits of power.
This game was...
Speaking of games I dumped a stupid amount of time into, holy crap.
Star Fox is a great one.
I beat that
absolutely
game
love
so
that
many
game.
times.
Tis a classic. We also saw Kirby's Adventure this year on the NES. It introduced Kirby's ability to take on the powers of enemies he has eaten. So this is the second one in the franchise, and the one on the Game Boy you actually could not eat and use the power of the characters you absorbed.
Didn't it like turn into a star? That's it.
Yeah, you just spit them out. So you couldn't do anything. He actually was able to use their powers, which has now become a staple of the franchise. You do that in pretty much every one
And
of
of the
them.
character.
Right.
Even when he guest spots and other stuff like in Smash Brothers.
Super. April, we saw on PC The Seventh Quest. Sold over 2 million copies and was widely regarded as one of the 3 killer apps that accelerated the sales of CD-ROM drives, the other 2 being Myst and Doom. Bill Gates also called The Seventh Quest the new standard in interactive entertainment.
I was trying to see where the TH was, but now I see it.
I've never played this.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it. If you do, again, enlighten us in some comments. Let us know your memories of this.
Kevin says, or Henry says, let's be honest, it's R2's Wang. Kevin said R2 dildo. And then Kevin,
So glad we paused for that.
and then
Yeah.
and then Kevin says, doesn't that say seventh guest?
It does say guest.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Seventh guest. It looked like a Q.
You look like a Q.
See, that shows how much I know about this game. So comment below, let me know what this is about,
He
because
looks
apparently
like
it's not a
John
quest. Who?
Q, John Delancey. I will disown you. I want you to understand that about me.
Was that Johnny English or something?
Yikes.
Ugh!
Anyways, also on PC, Maniac Mansion 2, Day of the Tentacle.
Nah.
Haha.
On Nintendo, we saw The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening for the Game Boy. Which, one of the best handheld Zelda games, in my opinion. I didn't say the best. One of the
What
best.
is the best handheld Zelda
Link
game?
Between Worlds.
Yeah.
Anything else and you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the really bad one? Spirit Tracks?
Any of the frickin' DS ones.
Yeah, they were not
What
great.
was the one that you played it with 4 people?
Four
Swords.
Swords.
Four
Yeah,
Swords.
Four Swords was alright if you
They
had 4
actually
people.
did a speed run of the GameCube one
I know I saw that.
at SGDQ this year.
Oh.
Seen it.
For people who didn't see it, Eric.
He just said he synced it.
I know. That's why I said for people who didn't see it.
Then why did you say his name like that?
Because suck it is why.
Moving on.
Kevin said, hey, I like the mobile games.
Electronic Arts released on the PC Syndicate. And no, not Assassin's Creed Syndicate, just Syndicate. Bullfrog Productions, they went on to do a release of, what was it, Theme Park? I don't know.
It's called Zoo Tycoon.
Zoo Tycoon's another good one. Nintendo, for the Super Nintendo, released Super Mario All-Stars.
Good game.
This is the first time we saw like a greatest hits or a remastered bundle. On
This is actually the
things.
first time I ever got to play 2 or Lost Levels.
Really? This was your first experience with it?
Was 2 even out on NES?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Well, that's the whole thing. Is 2 in America was a reskin of a
Doki
Japanese
Doki.
game called Doki Doki Panic, because the higher ups at Nintendo Japan were like, Americans can't handle the difficulty of.
Yeah, they had to
Lost
dumb it
Levels.
down for us.
So they gave us a reskin Doki Doki as Mario 2, and Japan got Lost Levels as Mario 2. So this was the first American release of the Lost
The
Levels.
official Mario 2,
Yeah.
which was Lost Levels.
But it was the second release of the American Mario 2 game.
One of my favorite Mario games, Super Mario 2.
I actually
So
really don't care for
Super
it.
I
Mario
love
Brothers came out. They then were going to release. Then they released Lost Levels as 2 in Japan, but they were like, no, this is too hard. So they made a whole new game. Made that
Well,
Super Mario 2.
reskinned a game.
Yeah, they already had basically completed Doki Doki Panic. And they
Oh,
went, let's just switch out the sprites for Mario sprites. Which is why you have all these weird enemies in 2 that aren't in any of the other
Unrelated.
games.
the ones that shoot the eggs out of their mouth.
Yeah.
Birdo, I think, was a holdover from Doki. I think it was kept from the original game because reasons,
But the spoiler alert, the way they got away with it was Mario was just dreaming.
yeah, Mario 2 isn't real. It was all just a dream.
Just like
And
Mario 3 is a
isn't
play.
real. It's a play.
Supposed.
This is true. This is
No, I know,
canon
but-
explanations for both games.
I didn't realize they had a whole deeper story other than, hey, get the princess.
Yeah, run to the right and jump things.
Well, at a certain point, people actually legitimately started questioning why this plumber was beating up gorillas and jumping into pipes to stomp on turtles. They were like, what is going on here? And then, of course, you eat the psychedelic mushroom to get bigger, and they're like, is this Alice in Wonderland?
Magic carpets.
Right? It was very bizarre.
So Square, back when they were Square.
You're a square.
Secretive, man,
Never played it, actually.
it's really good.
It was re-released recently on the PlayStation 4 HD remaster.
It was. It's also available on the SNES Classic, the SNES Mini. So,
It was only re-released on the PS4 though, right? It wasn't on PC or Xbox One.
yeah, I believe it's PS4 exclusive.
Kevin said Dookie Dookie Panic.
Dookie Dookie.
And then he said he loves Super Mario 2. Henry said, am I the only one who wants ice cream really bad right now?
No, because I had ice cream right before we went live. So you're not wrong.
Kevin said, well, you were. Raven Knight says, love this game. I got the remaster. And Henry said, sorry, Kevin.
Activision on the PC released Return to Zork. Another one I don't know.
This is another one where you guys have caught up to me, so give me a second.
Zork.
Z Turn to Rourke.
Zork.
Speaking of Rourke, did you guys ever see The Wrestler?
Yeah, good movie.
Yeah, Ram Jam.
That was not released in 93.
Andrew said she's eating gelato. Kevin said, go get one of those mini blue bunny sundaes. They're like half pints, super yummy. Oh, no, they're just talking about ice cream, so I'm just going to let that go.
September saw Master of Orion. More games I've never played or never heard of.
Build an empire to span the galaxy.
Also in September, Sonic CD. Which
I
is
never
a...
heard of this one.
Really? I was going to say.
I never played Sonic CD.
It's a good one.
That's true. I've never played it. But
It's a good one. It's you have Game Pass.
I do.
It is on Game Pass. I highly recommend downloading it if you like Sonic games. It's an underrated one in my opinion. It's probably higher rated than I'm even aware of, but it's really good.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
We also saw Myst, which was talked about. So this is a highly regarded game.
One of the highest regarded puzzle games, kind of all time, really.
I never played it.
Uh,
But then again, it was
Point and click
PC.
puzzle, though.
Probably like
It's actually been re-released on basically everything.
It was the best-selling PC title on record. 6 million units sold since launch. To date, the franchise has sold over 12 million. It held the top spot until The Sims was released in 2002. So the Myst was the best PC game until The Sims.
Kevin said
Best selling.
Kevin said I never got into Myst, mostly because I could never fucking figure anything out.
Yeah, it's confusing.
It was unforgivingly difficult, which is part of why it sold so well.
Visually, too, is groundbreaking.
So
for the
did
time.
you play Myst?
Shit, yeah.
Not very much, so no.
Okay.
I have played it.
I was gonna troll you if you played Myst being difficult and then not playing Dark Souls.
Well, okay.
I did
you have
play
to
Dark
take that-
Souls, but I
you
gave
have
up.
to take that as
But that's why I asked.
comparative, though. Like, in today's structure, the only thing really difficult about the game is the puzzles, not anything else about it. I mean, because the gameplay, it's literally point and click. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you just venture around a terrain and basically this
What the
island
fuck
here.
does this lever fucking do?
Pretty much.
Actually, yeah, that was probably about 70% of what you would say playing
Mm.
that game. Because you pull a lever and it would make a noise, but there would be no like visible impact to your immediate area because secretly that lever opened like a hidden passageway in a wall on the other fucking side of the island.
We also saw this year Sam and Max hit the road. No, that's the game. They didn't.
For some
hit the road.
reason, I forgot Salmon Max was a game, and it sounded like it said Salmon Max.
Salmon
like,
Max.
like a fish and Max.
It's true.
Salmon, mac and cheese.
Ooh,
That sounds good, actually.
sounds really good.
Yeah. I want that now. Thank you.
Andrew, don't give us that look.
She don't like fish.
Oh, you'll get along with Amanda.
Sam and Max.
Oh my god, resize.
That's what she said.
Zing. That's by LucasArts.
Zing.
Wow, a little dip into reality there.
Yeah, we also saw on the NES, not
Mega Man
Rockman,
Not
but
Mega Man.
Mega Man.
No, Rockman.
Was it?
Mega Man was in 94. Rockman was 93. I read the wiki.
Good for you. It says Mega Man on Wiki. That's where I copied and pasted.
I know.
Wait,
So-
so you don't actually know all this stuff?
I do know all this stuff.
He does now.
I do now. And so
By
do you
osmosis.
for watching us.
That's true.
So, the more you know. On the Sega Genesis, which we've done on a Classics Lounge, which you can watch on YouTube, Disney's Aladdin.
Specifically, the Sega one,
Yes.
because... Go ahead.
Oh, it was the Game of the Year Electronic Gaming Awards. It's considered the third best-selling game, too. This is not on my notes. I just know these things.
Of all time?
On the Genesis.
Oh.
So, yes. If you haven't played it,
You owe it to yourself.
Yeah, you need to play
seriously.
this
It's-
game.
I don't really care for the Genesis one personally. By comparison, I prefer the SNES one, but they're both phenomenal.
Genesis one. That's where it's at.
It's okay to be wrong. We just discussed it.
Anyway, Nintendo also released that year Clay Fighter for the Super Nintendo.
Love.
It was thought of as a
Clay
parody of Street Fighter Mortal Kombat, but it actually wasn't.
Okay, so
I don't-
little funny.
Somebody's saying that because I read that in the notes, but
Yeah.
it straight up has claytalities,
Yeah.
and you're gonna try to tell me it's not a parody?
Nope.
Okay, so fun story about Clay Fighter. Remember Clay Fighter when they brought it on N64?
Clay Fighter 63 and a third.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they brought it on. They brought it out on the Nintendo 64, and the joystick on the 64. I can't remember what character it was, but one of the moves was you spin the joystick
Oh.
really fast.
That's hell.
I did that. I was like, I'm gonna win. And I got a blister on the hand that I spun it with, like this giant fucking blister, and I couldn't play it anymore. I was so pissed. As this little kid, I'm like,
See, that was the
That is
downfall of that
weird
controller.
visual. It
Yeah.
really was.
Oh, I'm going to screen cap that. That's our next sub alert.
Yes.
why am I the one making weird faces? Why don't you guys do anything like that?
Because we're
I'm
normal.
not even on the camera.
That's true.
Yeah, you are. You're wearing a hat.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
She literally is wearing a hat.
It's true. He's wearing hats somewhere.
And you're yellow.
Anyways, next Sega release, considered one of the worst games on the Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball.
I watched the speedrun of this.
I hate this game.
Possibly
this game's trash.
one of the best games in the Sonic franchise right here.
Oh, this game is garbage.
If the franchise only consisted of this game, it would still be the worst game in the
This
franchise.
game is not good.
Y'all ignorant. Sonic Spinball is a treasure.
A treasure to who?
You know what?
It's probably sitting next to the treasure pile that is E.T. on the Atari. Ooh.
Audience, this one's not for you.
Can't see. Sonic's in the way.
Oh! God damn it.
Idiot.
because I'm in studio mode and I keep forgetting that it doesn't transition those.
This guy right here.
Kevin said, yeah, he got the blister from the controller. Rope burn.
Gross.
It's true. On the PC, we saw Gabriel Knight, Sins of Fathers. It's by Sierra.
This one actually got a lot of weird commentary. I had never heard of this game, so I read a teeny bit of the wiki while I was doing this.
That's why the pictures weren't right.
Yep, that's what it was.
Anyway.
Had nothing to do with the timing of things.
Hey, I turned in my homework on time on Monday. Just saying.
What? 3 days is not on time, Junior. You've known we were doing this for months.
4 if you could technically count all day today.
Moving on.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 4.
You can't see me, but I am just daggers.
One of the greatest and most influential games of all time. Not Gabriel, but Doom.
Dum.
Which we've seen a lot of success recently on the recent release of Doom.
Yep,
So.
2016.
Yeah. Yeah, was it 2 years ago? Really?
Yep.
It's on the Switch now. They ported it, which I probably wouldn't
And
recommend.
they also
playing on the
announced at
Switch.
E3 the new
There is a new Doom.
Doom.
New Doom.
Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal. Yep. Capcom on the SNES released Mega Man X. Gonna give it to you.
Was it?
Such a
Was
good
it
game.
Mega Man?
Nope, we're gonna go with Rockman again because apparently that's what it was.
Was it the same as Mega Man X?
No, Rockman's the Japanese version that was
No, I know,
released,
but I mean-
yeah, but
Yeah, the game
The only
is-
the only difference was
The name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the cover art.
Mega Man X is
God damn it, what do
dope.
you call that?
Your face.
Localizing.
Local-
Localization. That's the only
Localization. So let's talk about some hardware. Sega released the Model 2, an arcade system board that introduced 3D texture filtering and became one of the most popular arcade system boards. Fujitsu released FM Towns Marty in Japan as the first 32-bit home console, starting the 5th console generation.
Man, this is exciting. It's called the Resize Show.
Panasonic, Gold Star,
wanna
and
do
Sanyo release the
No,
first
I would have had it done
versions.
before today.
I do not believe you.
Ooh, shots fired. Anyways, Panasonic, Gold Star, and Sanyo released the first versions of the 3DO, which is the resizing 32-bit console.
It's the what?
Okay.
He's gonna
Keep laughing.
Oh,
I'm not doing this. Not the next
Oh,
one. Y'all on your own.
Alright, we'll just look up the pictures on our phones.
put them up on the screen. Didn't we do that for one? We did that for something.
It was one of the 90s episodes. I looked up the movies. Top
Yeah,
movies.
That's what we did. The audience liked that. Anyways, Atari.
Please don't flip my table.
Right, he's good at flip the table. The Atari Corporation released the Jaguar home console, calling it the first
God,
64.
Look at that controller.
That's not the Jaguar.
That's the
what's
Jaguar.
The other
Y'all
one?
kept talking shit, so I moved on.
He's like, the show's just going. Catch up. Catch up.
Oh, wait, what we
motherfuckers."
It's your turn to catch up, goddammit.
All right, so that's the
You can keep going
Jaguar.
farther. You don't have to stop at the next one.
Jaguar by
Well, I
Atari.
do, because when I drop them on the screen, it
64-bit.
goes live.
Drop it like it's hot. Commodore Business Machines released the Amiga CD32 multimedia home console. These are some ugly machines, ugly
Yeah.
controls.
That controller is
It's a boomerang
yeah,
or a
that-
dog bone.
Or both.
Just look again.
Or a
look at
doggerang.
the Jaguar controllers, man. Like
What
this,
is that? Was this Star Trek?
I don't know. This whole generation of controllers was
Bad.
ridiculous.
Bad.
I mean,
Bad
the
generation.
3DO is
Bad
probably the
intelligence.
best one. Look at it. It's basically a
I
Genesis
mean, that one's
controller.
fine. Yeah, that works. Whatever.
The FM Town.
What do you think
one?
is the best controller ever?
ever?
GameCube.
Oh no.
Really?
What?
No.
Ew.
What?
No. I'm sorry. Like it's up there. Top 5, maybe even top 3.
Don't even say the friggin' PlayStation.
No. Xbox 360.
I honestly.
It's solid.
one or two.
but
I give the 360. I
durability, the GameCube controller handled better over time. 360, wear and tear.
Super Nintendo
No,
controller.
mine.
Super Nintendo's good.
Hands down. It was the most comfortable. The buttons had the best
GameCube.
permanence. I'm sorry.
DualShock. Who said DualShock?
I still have my SNES
was
controllers.
Kevin.
My original.
See, Kevin, that's why you lost the belt.
Never replaced them. My original SNES controllers still work. I've had to replace GameCube controllers.
Sure, but again, that's what I'm saying.
I've never
Nintendo
replaced
makes
one controller.
durable
Say again?
I've never replaced one controller that didn't break because I didn't slam it.
We're not gonna name names here.
Passed the Eric slamming test. Rage quit. Anyways, Nintendo released a
Speaking of
smaller redesigned NES, which allowed cartridges to be inserted in the top. So instead of the front loading, it's the top loading.
So the official name for this thing is actually the NES 101, which I never knew, because it is more commonly known as the NES top loader.
Mm-hmm.
But comically, I found that image by searching for NES toaster.
I mean, that makes sense. This
'Cause that was the other
design,
nickname for it.
obviously this design is more reminiscent of a Super Nintendo. It was
Yeah.
very similar, which was out. You know, we'd already seen a Super Famicom, Super Nintendo out at this time. I don't hate this design, but I don't love this
This
design.
controller was the Power Glove.
Power Glove.
I don't know who said that, but they should be slapped.
No one. Oh, actually, Kevin did say that. Right? I didn't even know he was going to say that because I saw Henry say the Pong paddle.
Pong. Pioneer released the laser active multimedia home console. And
There's your laser active.
Sega's Mega CD is released in Europe and Australia.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Well,
they
the
love to call
Genesis,
them Mega for
yeah,
nothing.
the Mega Drive, he popped on top. Hop on pop. So that's gaming in '93.
I was about to say, no, I got more images, but no, it's just the logos I used to make the background.
So let's talk comics for a brief bit. There's not a lot here, but let's talk.
Let's talk.
Action Comics with issue
I
686.
just wanted to say hi.
Suspended publication following the death of Superman.
Luther killed him with kindness.
It's true. Marvel's Maximum Carnage storyline in Spider-Man began, which one of my favorites. Like, look at that. That looks epic. How do you not want to read that? And
Oh.
how have you not made that into a film yet? Why? Because you probably screwed up. So, Action Comics with 687 resumes publication after a 4-month hiatus following the death of Superman and Funeral for a Friend. I actually have that issue too. I should have grabbed that one. That's funny.
You should have.
I did not. The Funeral for a Friend storyline begins. For this one, let's see. DC Comics releases Batman 500, in which Azrael becomes the new Batman.
Two different covers.
So a couple different covers here, and a 64-page giant Nightfall Chapter 19 was released. Fun fact about this one. So I have a couple here from the Nightfall series. So as you can see, some important ones back in '93. That one, first one was May. This is also May of '93.
Does it actually have dates on it?
Yeah. Late May '93, issue 493.
Let me see.
And then issue 497, July of '93, which had the infamous cover, which you all may know. So the backbreaker from Bane. So
Blash.
So those are from my home collection when I was a kid. Still have them. They're not in great condition, but pretty cool to think that's 25 years old right there. Crazy. DC Comics, we did that one. Deadpool 1 is released by Marvel Comics.
Oh, I accidentally missed that one.
That's okay.
Whoops.
And Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, dies in Fantastic Four 381. We also see X-Men 2099 #1 with the Marvel 2000 or the 2099. So another good.
Man, I wish I would have read comics when I was younger.
I mean, these issues are not hard to find. Like, mass produce, big time 90s comics.
No, it's more just I don't know where to start.
Oh, gotcha. Just jump in. There's no good to a bad starting spot. Like, honestly.
I'm very anal about like starting stories where they begin.
Well, build a time machine.
What?
I'm exactly the same way.
Build
I
a time
I
machine.
can't.
Yeah.
Just so that Kevin doesn't kill me.
I just need to know like what.
There you go.
Deadpool
Because
number
and the
one.
thing with comic books
Number
is
one.
they're everywhere. Like there's so many different storylines that I just want to know like
Well,
the
they've
main
been-
one of everything.
But they've been relaunched. There's side stories. Like there's so many
Right.
timelines. Like it's hard to point you in a direction. That's why I say just jump in. Just jump in. It's nice.
The water's fine.
The water's fine. Let's talk television though, because television's a thing that exists in '93, even in color.
About to relaunch Marvel.
Yeah, see, they're gonna do it again. So, May 22nd, Rob appeared. A wild Rob. We have Saved by the Bell broadcasting its series finale on NBC. As the
Wow.
cast graduates, this leads to the debut of a spin-off called The College Years. 3 months later.
Yeah, they waited
Was
a
that
really long
any?
time.
Was that all of them?
No, not all of them went to the college years.
I see Zach, Screech, and Kelly. Thanks, Andrea, for the 1 bit.
Ah, bits! We got some of her bits.
Weird.
Weird. So, August 28th, a super fan was not born, but was made, created. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers had its first entry, and they debuted on Fox Kids.
Love that show.
It's right here. The only good collection to have. After this, it got weird. So this is the original
It
run.
started getting weird in there.
No, this is perfect. So this is the box set of the first 3 official seasons. Forget how many episodes. Like 200 episodes in here, something crazy.
I've been playing that that Marvel Legacy, or I'm sorry, the Power Rangers Legacy Wars or whatever.
Yeah, good.
It's fun, yeah, and you also get to play as like characters from every like from all of the Power Rangers shows. Dino Thunder, dude, I love those. Do it, flip it. Ha!
Oh, I got stuck because it's
No.
old.
Surprised you still have those. I had so many of those. I used to make them wrestle.
Yeah. And then, of course, you can't be a super fan without getting the official Power Rangers magazine.
They had a magazine.
They had a magazine, and definitely collected these things over the years. Still has my mailing address. When was this? It's crazy. So some of these are between 93 and 95.
That movie was so good.
The movie.
The movie was pretty mighty.
So they were
But I think
releasing.
at the time, like, okay, so when that movie came out, oh, let me see the bottom one.
I had Lord Zed on that one. Oh, one of those handheld games. Yeah, those
Dude,
were
those
great.
things were the best.
The Tiger games. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Definitely had those as a kid. So we also saw that year Late Night with Conan O'Brien premiering on NBC as O'Brien replaced David Letterman as the host.
With his first guest being,
John Goodman.
John Goodman?
I'm a little disappointed in you right now.
John Goodman.
Is that Kurt Angle? He's got an Olympic medal.
It's Kurt
He's
Angle
got-
with hair?
He's got the first guest medal.
Ah,
Legit, like
that's a
Conan
thing.
awarded him a giant medal for being the first guest on the new show.
What did Conan do before that?
I think he was just a stand-up comedian.
Oh.
Not true. He assisted with the writing and creation of Simpsons.
I mean, in terms of on-screen stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, he did all kinds of stuff before he was on screen.
Right. But he's always been around comedy and entertainment for sure. So, Animaniacs makes its debut on Fox Kids. TV Food Network.
Made its debut on TV.
It's true. This is a fun fact right here.
This
which-
Radio Food Network.
So this is a fun one I came across.
This one is actually really fun.
The first Got Milk commercial is broadcast on TV. Directed by Michael Bay, a guy obsessed by the history of a duel hears a voice on the radio asking $10,000 question. Who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel while making and eating a peanut butter sandwich? The question was transferred to the telephone. Answers the correct answer, Aaron Burr.
but the person on the telephone can't hear it clearly with his mouth full of peanut butter sandwich before time ends. And he only has a few drops of milk left. So he didn't win $10,000 because he didn't have milk. Got milk?
I will tell you that milk is my favorite beverage of all time.
Is it?
Yeah, like I feel like it's weird, but
Mountain Dew. Easily Mountain Dew.
like
That's life.
you know how people like they're like sweating like oh so hot. I just need like a cold beverage. Like somebody
milk? Milk is a bad choice.
It's, I don't know what it is, but I'll go into a gas station like a hot day like today. I went and got gas. I got a thing of milk. Love it. Love milk.
Disgusts me. Warner Brothers Entertainment announces the formation of the WB. It's the WB.
I almost just put up Michigan J Frog,
Oh, you should.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
but that is the actual logo for the WB.
It's true.
WB.
Another fun fact, November 15th, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and Christina Aguilera joined the cast of the Disney Channel series, The New Mickey Mouse Club.
Apparently, also in that picture is Ryan Seacrest.
Not
Seacrest
the same
out.
as the nude Mickey Mouse Club.
That sounds like a felony.
We just got canceled.
Bye.
We talked about this already. Television debut. Monday Night Raw on the USA Network. Beavis and Butthead on MTV. Am I rushing?
Raw.
Raw.
Butthead.
Butthead. Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin kind.
We covered that already.
Yes. One of my favorite shows of all time. The X-Files. Love this show.
Hold on. To ask Andrea, ice cold milk is the best. Is that with ice? Okay.
No.
Because okay, there's a couple things
People like
that
ice
are that make you a psychopath. I think.
You
And
better
I
not
like
say
ice
pineapple
and
on pizza.
No, I'm not because that.
Ketchup on macaroni and cheese?
No, just listen to me.
Because people get all uppity
One
about that.
thing, there's two things that I can think of that are psychopath worthy. One is ice in your milk. Okay. Two is eating string cheese by not stringing it.
Oh, I do
Just
that.
biting
I'll bite
it?
into it.
You're a psychopath.
I think he does.
I
that
think
for
you
fucking
mean
people.
sociopath.
Psychopath.
They're sort of interchangeable in this specific instance.
In this
I feel.
instance, they could be yes.
Anyways,
No, ketchup on mac and cheese is tasty.
it is, yeah. Lewis and Clark, New
The-
Adventures of Superman.
Ketchup on mac and cheese. Ketchup and mac and cheese, and then A1 sauce on mashed potatoes are the same. Are in the same vein, by the way they come about, because you have macaroni and cheese and a hot dog when you're a kid. You get the some of the ketchup in the mac and cheese, and you eat it, and you're like, oh, this is good. Same thing with steak and mashed potatoes, because you put A1 sauce on a steak, it gets in your mashed potatoes, you eat it, and like, oh, this is good, and then a thing is born.
You know what bothers me? The people
Okay,
that have to
Kevin, I know
separate their
you do
food
that
because they
to
can't
fuck
have their
with your
food
sister,
touch.
I hate that too.
Your food intermingles in your stomach, then it poops
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Like it's a big party
I
of all the
think-
things you didn't want to touch.
I don't know. Let's see.
Andrew does that. My son does that. Ah, yo.
Oh, Sarah, no, that is psychopath worthy too.
Kevin just said he does that, but I know for a fact he does that to mess with his sister.
And he does that to mess with me too.
September 18th, we saw Sonic the Hedgehog.
Possibly one of the greatest shows.
It's a good one.
I really have a craving for chili dogs right now.
He ate a lot of chili
Wrong
dogs.
show.
Oh, that was the Adventures.
Adventures of Sonic
Yeah,
the
he ate
Hedgehog.
chili dogs there. That was the more
shitty
cartoony one.
Garbage.
No.
It was the Sonic Spinball of Sonic TV shows.
Not possible. Sonic Spinball's the greatest.
So
game of
wait,
all time.
in your opinion, then that would be the good one.
No, that was totally a trap question.
No.
Because it was watchable.
You're a trap.
What about grilled cheese?
Yeah, what about grilled cheese?
I like it.
Yes,
It's-
it's good.
Oh, by the way, hold on. Before we go any further, I want to show you what I made the other day. Dope as shit. So, I made grilled cheese with macaroni and cheese in the middle of the grilled cheese sandwich. Look at that.
From under cheese.
Dude, that's so tasty. Do you see that?
Yeah.
It's it's white cheddar mac and cheese inside of a grilled cheese.
Oh, that actually sounds super good.
And you pull it apart, it's so like stringy, it's just so good.
Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
This one confused me a lot because it's like, hey, what should we do with our horror property? I know, let's market it to children.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Rocco's Modern Life.
Speaking of reasons the 90s were weird for children,
Rocco's
Sarah was
Modern
super good.
Life.
I'm telling you, make mac and cheese. Then you take a grilled cheese and you do it like this, right? You do both sides, and then as soon as the cheese melts on both sides a little bit, put mac and cheese on one side and you fold it over, and then you flip it over and cook it right. You know?
Oh, dude, it's grilled cheese, not that hard to make.
Kevin, you bite your tongue.
Boy Meets World.
a great reason to be alive in the 90s.
Yes.
Dude,
Jon Stewart Show.
just Topanga.
Yeah, bro.
Just
All
This was
day
on
long.
MTV. This one's for Andrea. The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
loved Pete and Pete.
Orange Julius.
And
Did
we
you,
have,
did you know that younger Pete, the younger Pete was the voice of the chubby, bratty kid from Grand Theft Auto 5?
No,
Yeah.
didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's
the
a fun
sun.
fact.
You know what I'm talking about, Andrew? The kid who at the beginning was trying to buy a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Michael's son.
Michael's
Yeah,
son.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's,
hey.
that's younger Pete.
Since I forgot to say it while we were on Rocco's Modern Life, bonus points to anyone who knows what his day job was.
Almost ex-operator.
I was gonna say, well, that's not his only job in the entire series.
No, but it started that
I was
way.
gonna ask you in the first episode because that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna
it
say.
started that way.
Oh
He's getting out of
baby,
it.
oh baby, oh baby.
So,
Did you know in that episode, right behind him, there's a sign that says "Be kind, be courteous, be naughty."
Mm-hmm. That's part of how you put that together.
Yeah.
So we had, as you can see on the screen here,
Veggie Tales.
VeggieTales. This didn't appeal to me. I know this was very popular for a lot of people.
There are two reasons I give a crap about this show, and they're both songs.
Sure.
Oh no!
Escuchen El Pepino and Where Is My Hairbrush?
Real quick, I'm gonna say, Henry, it wasn't called Camp Salute Your Shorts. It was called Salute Your Shorts, and the camp was Camp Anawana.
It's true.
We hold you in our hearts.
And when I think about you, it makes me want to fart.
So
Wait,
some
right,
shows
Christ.
ending in '93.
Oh yeah. That's
One of them, which is really interesting that we're talking about this now because it's coming back with the same host, Double Dare. So Double Dare had ultimately come
Mark
to an
Summers.
end. That started in 1986, ended in '93. This was probably one that we talked about as a kid, but how many of you actually watched it? Doogie
Oh, I
Howser, MD.
Oh, Doogie Howser. I thought
Yeah,
it
Double
was-
Dare, we all watched that. Come
Yeah.
on, you didn't miss that show.
Also, that actually, I watched the shit out of Doogie Howser.
I
Did you, though?
not.
Yeah.
I did not watch
A
this.
lot.
We all knew it, but
I knew about it, yeah, but I didn't watch it.
No, I don't.
a show that I did watch and I've rewatched again thanks to Netflix, The Wonder Years.
Kevin, I think he actually is coming back. Little fun fact: is her name Wendy?
No, Winnie.
Winnie. Winnie was in an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Really?
She's a PhD in mathematics.
Does she really?
Another show that ended that had a long run was Cheers.
I don't know if I believe that, Kevin.
What, that Cheers had a long run?
No, he said Lizzie Koshy's going to be the host. Mark Summers is going to be a consultant.
We also saw the end of Harry and the Hendersons. That only ran for 2 years.
You know what's annoying about this one? You know how hard it was to find an image from the show and not,
And not the
movie?
film. Yeah, the film was widely more popular.
Oh, speaking of Double Dare, Keenan and Kel to reunite for Double Dare reboot.
Huh, that's fun. They've not been together a long time.
Oh, okay. So let's see. Looks like Kevin was right. Well, let's see. It says Mark Summers, who hosted the original Double Dare on Nickelodeon from '86 to '93, has joined the revival of the show. This time as a color commentator alongside new host Lizzie Koshy. Okay then. I guess I didn't look it up recently.
Kel loves orange soda.
He does. Is it true?
It's funny. It's true, it's true, it's true.
Oh, I didn't see Kevin's thing when I was looking it up.
What?
It's I do.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I do.
I was-
I do. Ooh.
I was saying it with, as in it's true. Whatever.
It's damn true.
Anyways, let's transition into film.
If we got it.
We got it because we got a lot to talk about here. This was a big year for film.
We can do lightning round to this.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because I don't have this thing up. Got you. Scenes.
Scenes it.
Movie collage.
So,
Kaboom!
we'll talk about. This is some stuff that came out.
Oh shit, that's the wrong thing. My bad.
That's fine.
No, we'll do this one.
This is okay.
Oh.
Because we're going down the list here.
We're going to go down the list. The top 10 grossing films of 93.
What the hell?
Number 1, $914 million. And possibly
Bam!
the greatest movie of all time. My favorite movie of all time.
It's
Jurassic
super
Park.
good.
The best. So, you haven't seen it, I don't want to know you. Mrs. Doubtfire came in at number 2 that year. Another fantastic film.
Mm-hmm. Poor Robin Williams.
Poor Robin Williams, unfortunately.
Poor us.
Poor
You know
us,
there's
yeah.
going to be a documentary on HBO about Robin Williams in either July or August.
I mean, he had a hell of a career.
Dude,
And
he's my
this
favorite.
is definitely one of his highlights as far as
My
his
favorite
films.
stand-up comedian, one of my favorite actors.
Hello!
Like, not many
So
celebrity deaths get me. That one got me bad.
And his was very disappointing. So, depression is the thing, people.
Yep.
Sad.
In the words of Porky Pig, piss off, Lou.
Number 3, The Fugitive. Another good film. Harrison Ford transitioning
Oh.
to bigger action roles in the 90s here.
That makes me so sad. Kevin says, I had a class a few years back with some kids that were taking college courses and none of them knew what Jurassic Park even was.
Oh,
God, that's painful.
How? Come on. No.
I
No.
told you about the story about the kid who thought that Rage Against the Machine sounded too much like Audioslave, right? It's
Yeah.
It's just youth. Darn youths. I hate that. I'm
That's
old enough
why
to say
we're
those darn
here.
youths.
We need to educate you all.
Yeah.
Number 4 was Schindler's List. You, if you're around our age, probably watched this in school growing up.
I actually have never seen Schindler's List.
You never watched it in school?
Believe it or not, me
Mhm.
either.
What? Really? It's really depressing, but you should really watch it.
I'm not, like, in any way commenting on its
cheered?
importance.
Andrea.
Thank you. Schindler, yes. Yes.
He said in fucking 2014 when I was training for Comcast, nobody in my class knew who Bare Naked Ladies were. It should be were.
So, anyways, The Firm was number 5 that year.
I don't think I've ever seen The Firm either.
Tom Cruise.
Sure haven't.
It's Tom Cruise. I mean, it's Tom Cruise. Indecent Proposal. Definitely watched this one.
Also haven't seen this one.
No?
No.
Yeah, this was interesting.
These are like, when I was 7, these were adult movies.
Oh yeah, you probably wouldn't have seen
So
these.
I didn't go back and watch
We
them.
had HBO, so I'd be watching shit.
We didn't have HBO, but one of the movies that I remember watching with a friend, with my buddy CJ, was The Shining.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
For the
Which
first
one? The one with the dude from Wings or the one with Jack Nicholson?
Well, it's got
There's
to be
one
the
with the dude from Wings?
Yeah.
No, not that one.
Don't say
No,
yeah.
it's super good. Are you kidding?
No, that shouldn't be a thing. You should burn it.
Really? Heath Ledger shouldn't have been the Joker.
What?
I'm saying that
Was-
because that's what everybody
No,
on
no,
Earth
no.
said before he was the Joker. And then everybody was like, Jesus, why did we doubt
So,
this
hold
man?
on. Which one came out first? Which Shining came
Jack
out?
Nicholson.
Jack
By
Nicholson.
a wide margin.
Okay.
There's a reason they remade it.
You
To make money?
And they
that's-
made it
you
good.
don't re you can't you don't re you didn't remake Jurassic Park. You know why? Because a fantastic movie.
You just sound like a stroke there.
Yeah,
Well,
because
because
I'm so mad at you right now.
just wow. Ignorant.
I didn't say it was better than the Jack
Ignorant.
Nicholson
Let's
one.
move
I said
on.
it was good.
Let's move on.
Y'all ignorant.
Because right now we have a cliffhanger. I don't know. That's all I have.
I'm just ashamed of you for that.
This movie was fantastic, only because it gave us an amazing scene in Ace Ventura,
Which I haven't seen
Movie was
Cliffhanger, so I don't know
not
which.
Fantastic.
where he's going across the thing, and in Ace Ventura, do you remember he holds on to the monkey? And
Yeah, I'm saying I didn't.
that
see-
happened in Cliffhanger.
I know. I'm saying I haven't seen Cliffhanger, so I didn't know that that was from Cliffhanger.
That's Cliffhanger. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny because of that. Sleepless in Seattle was number 8
It was
this
a
year.
movie, yeah.
Tom
watch
Hanks.
these
I
kind of
love
movies.
Tom Hanks, but this is not for
I
me.
didn't see this. I didn't see You Got Mail. Well, actually, I did see
You
You
Got
Got
Mail
Mail.
was good.
Welcome.
I saw it like once or twice, but it's not something I remember.
Number 9, Philadelphia. Don't think I saw this one.
Is Sleepless in Seattle the one where
Another Tom
the
Hanks.
ending of it is they're on the Empire State Building?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. It's not for me.
That wouldn't make any sense. They're supposed to be in Seattle.
It's true.
Which one is?
It's the Needle in Seattle.
Huh?
The Needle, Seattle. I don't know.
No. There's
Number 10 was The Pelican Brief. Have you seen it? I haven't seen this one. Julia Roberts,
heard of
Denzel.
The Pelican stole my briefs.
So just kind of recap some things here from film before we jump into some other notable films. Jurassic Park, dinosaur epic, obviously massive special effects, breaks box office records by becoming the highest grossing film ever made at the time.
Which one?
Jurassic Park.
Oh.
I believe it beat out E.T., which is no longer...
That's the guy from Big. Tom Hanks.
Sleepless in Seattle revives the genre of courtship of Eddie's father with an extensive soundtrack of Ollie's music. Production begins on Toy Story in January 19 this year. And March 31st, Brandon Lee is accidentally killed during the filming of The Crow.
Just a horrible.
Lisa
tragedy,
Bonet
really.
files for divorce from Lenny Kravitz. The Bangles' Susanna Hoffs marries screenwriter Jay Roach. Kim Basinger files for bankruptcy after a California judge orders her to pay $7.4 million for refusing to honor a verbal contract to star in Boxing Helena. As a result, Basinger loses the town that she purchased in 1989 in Braselton, Georgia, to her partner in the deal, the pension fund of Chicago-based Ameritech.
That messed me up.
Yes, she
The town
purchased a
that she
town.
purchased.
Yes, you're that big. You own a town. Produced by
You're
Hollywood
so
Pictures.
big, you're like a town.
In May 28th, produced by Hollywood Pictures, Super Mario Bros. Yes, the movie opens, making the first video game film released, starring Bob Hoskins as Mario and John Leguizamo as Luigi. The
Best
film
movie
would
of all time.
unfortunately end up grossing only $20 million.
Did you know they used the Koopas from that movie in another movie called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Or TMNT?
It looks similar.
They look exactly alike.
We also lost, as we mentioned, River Phoenix overdose during the filming of Dark Blood. It was later completed, and that film was actually released in 2012.
Never
So,
even heard of it.
19 years later, they finally released it. So, you made an awesome graphic of some notable films. Let's talk
Sarah,
about those.
I want some of this gum, by the way. I don't know if this was giving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gave it.
Oh. I
Bam.
don't know. I didn't
So
know.
here you go. Some notable films. Leprechaun. Great horror comedy. This one was more on the horror level. As the series went on, it became more of a comedy. Homeward Bound. Who has not seen Homeward Bound? Have you guys seen Homeward Bound?
Of course I've seen Homeward. I've seen all three Homeward Bounds.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen all three of them. But
Groundhog Day. Army
I-
of Darkness.
You know what? Groundhog Day I have not seen, and that really depresses me.
You haven't seen Groundhog
Yeah.
Day? You need to see Groundhog
I know I
You
do.
do need to.
I know I do.
That's a must.
But it's one of those movies where when I hear
It's on
about
Netflix.
it, is it really?
Yeah,
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
But it's one of those movies where every time I hear it's a movie, I'm like, oh god, I need to watch Groundhog Day, and then the next day I forget that I thought that.
It's funny you say that, hence the
Yeah.
plot of the film.
It's sort of
I
the
know.
premise.
It is funny. Though.
Army of Darkness. Amazing. Amazing.
I love Army of Darkness.
Fire in the
I
Sky.
actually like the remake too.
Yeah.
Not Army of Darkness, but
But
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Evil
yeah.
Dead, yeah. That was a really good
It was a
remake.
really good remake.
Fire in the Sky. This movie fucked me up as a kid. It's about alien abduction, and the lead character shares my name, so that fucked me up because it was pretty intense. I have it on
I think I've
VHS.
seen that.
I have it on VHS if you ever want to borrow. The worst Ninja Turtles film to date, Ninja Turtles 3.
Yep.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
No, it's terrible.
Okay.
Huck, the Adventures of Huck Finn,
I like it, but it's
Sarah
terrible.
Thomas.
JTT.
Yep.
The-
And,
He likes it when girls
and,
fart.
what the hell's the kid's name? Brad
Pitt.
Renfro
Yep.
is
The other kid.
The other kid. We also saw The Sandlot.
Sarah's favorite movie ever.
This movie I watched a lot. Sidekicks. Do you remember this?
I wouldn't say I watched it a lot, but I did see it. Chuck Norris and
The kid that was in everything in the 90s.
God damn, what's his name? He was in It, I think, the
Yeah,
miniseries.
he was in the miniseries. It.
Jonathan Brandis. That's his name.
He was in everything. He's not alive anymore, is he?
No, he killed himself.
That's what I thought.
In the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
I think we'll get to that in an episode.
You know why?
We did.
He was never the hero. He was only a sidekick.
Oh, jeez. Hot Shots Part 2. Super Mario Bros. Cliffhanger. Jurassic Park. Last Action Hero.
I actually never seen Last Action Hero.
It's a good one.
I played the game.
It's a good one.
I wouldn't say you need to see it.
You don't need to
That's
see
why
it,
I
but it's a
didn't.
good one. We had Sleepless in Seattle. Another classic that I watched a lot as a kid.
Me
Rookie
too.
of the Year.
Yeah. This was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid.
Weirdly, I had that movie on a VHS, the same VHS as Jean-Claude Van Damme's Hard Target.
The hot steak
really
It was a
cheddar.
very bizarre pair of movies to have on the same tape.
Just dip into the have to.
So, if you had daycare, you went to a daycare or after school thing. Not all kids did. I did, and you would all often pop in a VHS tape. Rookie of the Year was one of the ones that I always want to have put in, or Free Willy on here. I always had to watch Free Willy. Amazing.
Funky butt loving.
Nice, good call, Kevin.
Another classic from this year, which I can't believe is 25 years old now. Hocus Pocus.
Oh man.
Ugh.
I love that movie.
Supposedly, I don't know. I hate
I heard
social
they're
media
remaking
because yeah,
it.
exactly. I heard a remake is possible. Coneheads came out this year, which obviously is from SNL, right? SNL or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Vanity Fair, as of September 2017, excuse me, specifically said, and quote, Hocus Pocus is officially getting remade without the original cast.
Well, I'm not
That
seeing
was
it then.
almost a year ago.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
and
it
I haven't
then.
seen anything, so.
Blah.
You're right. You lose flavor in this gum very quickly.
Are you gonna eat all of the pieces?
I am.
It's
Jesus.
the only way to get any flavor out of them.
But you eat them one at a time.
Gum gum for dum dum.
So let's move on.
Anyways, Robin Hood, Men in Tights, fantastic film. I have it on DVD. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, which is technically true because Jason X is the actual last Friday the 13th of the original storylines. However, this one begins the want and need for a almost 9-year absence in what was supposed to be Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah, because they teased that at the end of
They
that movie.
tease
and
it at the
just
end.
Never materialized.
Yeah. We also saw this year Dazed and Confused.
Me and Andrew are actually just talking about that before we started filming. This is
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies of all time, along with High Fidelity.
Cool
Also
Runnings.
A great movie.
No.
Also a great movie.
Yeah, another great one.
The Jamaican bobsled team.
They sunk. Are you dead yet? No.
Demolition Man.
They sold that bobsled for a stupid amount of money.
Oh, I bet. Did you guys see Demolition Man?
Sure did.
Did not.
Action
what are the
movie.
seashells for?
It's a good action movie. Gettysburg. If you like history, I recommend this one. It also features Michigan talent.
I know nothing about that one.
He lives in Jeff Daniels. He lives in
Ann Arbor.
Chelsea.
Oh, he moved to Chelsea?
Yeah.
He's always lived in
He's
He's
Chelsea.
always lived in Chelsea.
I don't think
So
He's always lived in
Pretty sure
Chelsea.
you're wrong.
when this movie came out, I went to
I was at
You could be wrong on
a Lincoln hockey game, and he was there with his son.
About
Then the
4
Chelsea
or 5
football
years
or
ago.
hockey team.
Well,
And that was in
maybe about
2003.
8 years ago, I was driving home the day before my birthday, and he walked across the street in front of me in a white T-shirt, and I was like, "Oh, that guy looks like Jeff Daniels." And then it dawned on me, and I was like, "Oh my God, it was Jeff Daniels."
So as a kid, my mom brought me to a local video store. I can't remember the chain, but he was doing an autograph signing in costume from the Gettysburg
Oh.
film there. So when I was like 8 or 9, I got to get his autograph, and I actually had, because I went to Pennsylvania and got to explore the battlegrounds, so I had like a hat, an authentic hat, and got to meet him and get my picture taken with him. So we also saw Mr. Nanny, which is Hulk Hogan, Rudy. So if you like football, this was probably a movie that you watched a million times growing up. I have a friend, other Rob, who watched this and was super inspired by it. The Nightmare Before Christmas, the annual movie I watch every Halloween.
That is Hocus Pocus for me.
That's another good one. Three Musketeers,
Good jam.
Addams Family Values. We already mentioned Mrs. Doubtfire. We're Back, A Dinosaur Story. Wayne's World 2. What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Beethoven Second. And Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
And another one of my favorite movies.
And Tombstone.
Have you seen Tombstone?
I know, it's got Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
So of course I've seen
Does it really?
Yeah, he's the young kid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I guess I only really remembered, what is it, Kurt Russell and
Sharon Stone, right?
the other guy. Oh, Val Kilmer.
Val
Yes.
Kilmer, yeah.
He
So
played Wyatt Earp.
Wow.
this year also had some film debuts. Jennifer Aniston in Leprechaun.
Kevin said that way earlier, I think.
Yep.
Wow.
What?
We're
Do you
done
have
with
art
we're
for
done with
these?
the screen.
Or is it just collage still?
After the movie collage, I'm out. I got nothing left.
That's fine. So Jennifer Aniston was
Oh, wait,
in.
no, I do have the movie debut. Sorry.
Okay. Leprechaun. So Kate Beckinsale, Much Ado About Nothing. Nev Campbell, The Dark. Dave Chappelle, Robin Hood Men in Tights. Dr. Dre, Who's the Man? John Favreau, Rudy. Terrence Howard, Who's the Man? Matthew McConaughey, My Boyfriend's Back. Brittany Murphy, Family Prayers. Anna Paquin, The Piano. Ryan Reynolds, Ordinary Magic. Denise Richards, Loaded Weapon 1. Alicia Silverstone, The Crush. Jada Pinkett Smith, Menace to Society. Mira Sorvino, Amongst Friends. Vince Vaughn, Rudy, and Renee Zellweger, Dazed and Confused.
Anna Paquin boob does not count.
Family Guy. Our last topic of the evening here
Should be a quick one.
should be a really long one for Eric.
Bitch, I gotta drive soon.
I'm gonna talk slow like this for music.
I will touch you.
January 8th, the U.S. Postal Service issued Elvis Presley stamp. Design was voted on in February of '92. So you started to see the famous now Elvis Presley stamp that everyone went crazy about. Like, I want to know the mind of someone who collects stamps. Like, of all the things you can collect in this world, why stamps?
I collect anything, really.
Yeah.
I suppose. But stamps, I guess that's a weird one for me.
Well, there's an important word to that I think you're missing in most common stamp collections, and that's commemorative.
Oh, yep,
They're
commemorative.
usually-
That's the big selling point on those little commercial things that they do. It's like,
exactly. Well, and,
your commemorative insignia nameplate with your name on it for only 17
that's-
easy payments of $29.99.
that's really part of
Those
the
are
appeal
low
of
numbers.
collecting those, you know what I mean? Is they represent major moments in your lifetime.
Sure. Anyway, January 29, Bodyguard official soundtrack becomes first album in history since the Nielsen SoundScan introduced a computerized sales monitoring system in May of '92, which we talked about in '92, to sell over 1 million copies in, what are you doing? Oh, tattoos? 1 million copies in 1 week in the U.S. January 13th, Bobby Brown is arrested in Augusta, Georgia, USA for simulating a sex act on stage. Yikes. You can't do that. You're going to get arrested.
Did he say, I feel good?
I mean, maybe.
Oh, no, that's not Bobby Brown.
January 31st, that's not, no, you're right. Michael Jackson played the halftime show at Super
Good
Bowl
job.
27. The performance is a ratings success and begins the trend of the NFL signing big-name acts to play at the Super Bowl in order to increase the spectacle and hype surrounding the game. It's true, it's been effective, and it's worked. We're in the 50s now for Super Bowl,
Yep.
so insane.
I swear to God.
Oprah Winfrey interviews Michael Jackson during a U.S. television primetime special.
Stuffy nose.
It becomes one of the most watched interviews in television history and Jackson's first in 14 years. Elton John is forced to end a concert in Melbourne, Australia, a half hour early when a swarm of grasshoppers invades the stage.
Nice.
I was like, okay, I have to add that. Whitney Houston's single, I Will Always Love You, posts its 14th week at #1 in the USA, becoming the longest running #1 single of all time at that time. It has been since beat.
Beat senseless.
Yeah.
By Bobby Brown.
Wow.
No. Katy Perry, with her debut, broke that. I Kissed a Girl,
That's
Did she like it?
and she liked it. Broke the Beatles,
shaped up
broke
for
Whitney
fruit
Houston.
strike gum.
Depeche Mode becomes the first alternative British band to achieve #1 in USA on the Billboard 200 with the album Song of Faith and Devotion.
Huh.
Kurt Cobain is taken to jail after a domestic row. Row. With wife Courtney Love. No charges are filed.
Why didn't she go to jail?
I don't
Y'all
know.
know Courtney Love threw the first punch. Let's be real.
Supposedly she also killed him, so there's that. Supposedly. On his 35th birthday, Prince announced that he is changing his name to an unpronounceable symbol. This led him to being called the artist formerly known as Prince until 2000. Groundbreaking ceremony for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is held in Cleveland with Pete Townshend, Chuck Berry, Can't Talk, Billy Joel among these attendants. The museum will open in '95. Guns N' Roses play the final gig on their Use Your Illusion tour. This will be the last time the original band plays together until 2016. So y'all got a bunch of egos and can't be on stage together and make a lot of money. Y'all got problems if it's that bad. So, Lollapalooza in Philadelphia, Bluetooth headset. Rage Against the Machine uses their entire 14-minute performance time to protest their single Killing in the Name being banned from radio, with only guitar feedback for sound. The group appears on stage naked with the letters PMRC painted on their chests and electrical tape over their mouths. News breaks to the public that Michael Jackson is being investigated on allegations of child molestation. So this ultimately begins the end of his, image as who he was.
It began the longest running joke in the history of media.
Yep.
He died and people still crack that joke.
It's unfortunate. Depeche Mode becomes among the earliest bands to go on the internet to interact with fans. So we can thank Depeche Mode for what we're doing here. We're interacting with you because of Depeche Mode. So they hold a question and answer session on AOL. The event is marred by technical difficulties as many participants, including the band members themselves, have trouble logging onto the chat. So they are very much, or we're very much like them with technical issues.
We are the Depeche Mode of Twitch.
We are the
streamers.
Depeche Mode. And I wonder if they started on time.
We were on at 8:30. I don't know what to tell you.
Nirvana plays their unplugged concert
Yeah,
in
but
New York.
halfway through the concert, Depeche Mode doesn't miss a guitar because they're not prepared.
Wow. Wow. He's going to turn your camera off.
No.
I mean, welcome back. Michael Jackson makes his first public appearance regarding the child molestation allegations leveled against him in a videotaped address. He calls the accusations totally false and asks the public to wait to hear the truth before you label or condemn me. We're also, sadly, Rick Astley retired from music at the age of 27 after selling 40 million records.
He gave us up.
He gave it
Only
up.
temporarily, though.
No. He said he was never going to give us up.
So,
He
He
lied.
gave us up.
there was a formation of a Christian rock label this year called Tooth and Nail Records. They have on their label currently Emery, Under Oath, The Almost, and Family Force 5. So they were formed all the way back in '93.
Huh.
So, biggest hit singles from this year: Meatloaf, I Do Anything for
Oh.
Love,
God, I hate that
But
song.
but I
so
won't
much.
do that.
But I
You
won't
be-
listen to that.
UB40, you're in this? You had
Yeah.
a single '93? Because
you
UB40.
Dude,
I can't help falling in love with you.
I can't help being 40.
And then
You're not
Eric,
gonna make it that far.
Eric's posse over here. What's up? The 4 Non-Blondes.
Yeah, baby. We all brew nuts.
And then we had some Informa. Man. I lick Eric's bum bum down.
Lick it boom boom down.
Snow. And then, what is love?
I'm gonna hurt you.
Don't hurt me.
At one point, I wanted to do Informer at karaoke.
Hey, come on, guys.
Good luck.
Come on.
Ah,
No.
come on.
We're not doing. You guys suck.
You both dead to me right now.
You're
You're
dead.
dead to me.
Had a way. Because I had a way with you.
Let's get going, man.
This has been the year that was 1993, brought to you by a Dose of Nerd Acumen and its
And Coca-Cola.
show, Coca-Cola, all the good culture.
Are we not brought to you by Coca-Cola? By Sun.
Son. A bison? Bison. So thank you all for watching. Please
Hey,
follow, subscribe, do the things
guys,
you do.
Guys, did you know that dogs can't operate MRI machines, but cats can?
And on that note, see you guys after the 4th. Make sure you watch Eric's stream tomorrow afternoon at 4.
I'm not streaming tomorrow.
And he's not streaming tomorrow. And whatever.
4 p.m., 3 p.m., whatever the
Central.
hour before Central Time Zone, 2 p.m., whatever time Pacific.
Mountain.
Whatever the other one is, set to.
Pacific.
At 1.
Wow.
And then we'll see
And
you guys.
10 p.m. Central European Summertime.
We'll still see you guys Thursday the 4th.
Fifth.
5th, I mean, technically, with the weekly dosage.
episode 40, Love. So we play some Mario Tennis.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that, and then maybe some pop-up streams
I'm
next
not
week.
in it.
So,
Because arcade's fun.
it's true. But thank you all, and until next time.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.